see you, which I don't do often enough of late, and you'll take pity on me and give me caffeine." It had been a while since Jules had had early morning action, or action of any kind. Maybe she'd meet some hot rock star friend of Adrian's at the wedding. "Well, I'm glad you're here. You're right, I don't see you often enough lately." "Are you mad at me? You must all feel like I've abandoned you." She squeezed Jillian's hand. "Heck no. You have a few things going on in your life right now. A kid, a fiancé, a wedding, your business, a new house. Hanging out with your friends tends to fall to the bottom of the list when you're doing all that other stuff. We don't feel like you've abandoned us." "You should know us better than that." Jules handled a few of her regulars before turning her attention back to Jillian. "I miss you. There's so much going on." Jules studied Jillian carefully, worried suddenly that she'd missed something. "Is everything all right? Do you need me to kick anyone for you?" "No one you need to kick, though you know how much it pleases me to have my own army of Amazonian warrior women ready to do my bidding and protect me should I need it." Jules laughed as she worked the counter for a few minutes. "It's just busy," Jillian said as Jules got back to her. "Wedding stuff, and thank you so much for all your help. And house stuff. We're halfway between my house and the new place, and Miles is bouncing off the walls with excitement. Little Pratt got a D on a big math test last week. I only found out when Adrian had taken out the recycling and found it in the papers." Jules winced. Jillian loved her son intensely, but she was a tough mama on the big stuff like school. "Anyway, I figured if I came in here before my first lesson and while my men took care of themselves, we could visit, and you could fill me in on how the new arrangement is working." The new arrangement was the business deal she'd worked out with her friends Mary and Daisy. Mary had moved her catering and dinner club business into Tart's space and had already grown her business by 50%. Daisy's art hung on the walls, and she sold it and other local artists' work, as well as handling the business and marketing for Tart and Mary's catering business. A lot of new things happening. So much that Jules found herself juggling her life a lot more lately than she ever had. But she felt like things were really looking up. "I'm getting used to sharing my space, and it's going well. Profits are up for all three of us. I'm going out to Patrick Carter's farm after I close today. I'm expanding my menu to include locally grown produce." "He'll love that. I've been worried about him after losing his wife. He seemed all right when I spoke to him on the phone, but you know, I can't imagine losing the love of my life after all those decades together. He still comes in here at least once a month, though, and I think he's slowly moving forward." The Carters had been one of those couples who seemed to light up at the sight of one another. "Here, try this one. It's a new recipe." She gave Jillian one of the strawberry buttermilk muffins she'd made earlier. "If I must." Jillian winked and then tried it, humming her delight. "This is really good." Which is pretty much my answer every time you have me try something new of yours. The strawberries were frozen, but once they're in season, I have a local supplier. I'm taking some out to Patrick's to give him a sample of what I can do. Along with the cherry turnovers he loved so much. Hey, she wasn't above a little bribery. "No one is going to complain when you arrive carrying one of your red and white bakery boxes." Jillian grinned. Pride filled Jules at the compliment. She'd worked hard to make the place her own after she'd inherited the building. It pleased her so much that she'd been as successful as she had. She'd never wake up one day to have her entire life turned upside down and not have a backup plan. Like her mother had. Jules had been out to Patrick Carter's farm just a few months before. Unfortunately, it had been a less than happy occasion. His wife Clara had battled cancer for the better part of the last several years and had finally succumbed to it. The wake had been lovely, filled with friends and family. It had been a tribute to just what an amazing person Clara Carter had been. Patrick was hale and hearty in that way some men grew into as they hit 80. Barrel-chested and broad-shouldered, he'd spent his entire life on the farm he still worked. He stopped into Tart once a month when he came into town to run errands, and she'd